So now that all the animosity's died down, exactly how is Michael Beale going to change the opinions over the fans over the course of the rest of the season? Well, a great start was putting in a convincing performance in the League Cup against Livingston where we came out 4-0 winners. But an even more essential part of changing that opinion is putting together a string of convincing wins, which I must admit, I do feel sorry for Beale in a sense that injuries are just plaguing the squad right now, so it's going to be even more and more difficult to put together that run of consistent performances when you don't actually have a consistent starting 11. And as I've said before, I believe a consistent starting 11, not necessarily through every game of the season, but having more consistency through the European games and more consistency in the starting 11 in terms of domestically, I think that's like an essential part of putting together a run of wins. Now for Rangers, the run up to Christmas is some absolutely huge games, the biggest of which being in Europe. And even though I still really haven't forgiven Beale for the mistakes made in the Old Firm and the PSV game and the game at the start of the season against Kilmarnock, I've always said that, well, is it possible that Michael Beale can change the opinions of fans? Of course, anything's possible. And I feel like what will go a long way to doing that is getting maximum points or as close to maximum points as humanly possible up until Christmas. It's that simple. And to kick that off, we've got the game at the weekend on Saturday against Aberdeen. Now we all know what it's like. Regardless of Aberdeen's form, regardless of our form, every time we come up against Aberdeen, it's played like a cup final. That's just the way it is. To be honest, I'm happy with that because at the end of the day, there's only so many times you can sit there watching a game with us trying to break down, 11 players inside the opposition box. So, go for it, commit us. I mean, what the Livingston game showed us is that even though we're plagued with injuries, I think we've still got a squad there that are more than capable of getting a result for this game, and so we should be. Adding on to that, the squad also being supplemented with players like Bailey Rice, other young academy players that are coming through, and we're absolutely desperate to give minutes to. I still think this squad's more than capable of getting a result on Saturday. The performance in the League Cup, as I said in the match review of the Livingston game, if you want that, then go over to that other video on the channel, is that I think a big player for us that's starting to kind of find his feet is Sima, and I think a lot of the times you've seen him play, here, there and everywhere, but particularly we've seen it in Europe and we've seen it against Livingston as well. I think there's just for him drifting out wide left a little bit, cutting in, getting a shot away. It's something we've definitely been missing in the squad so far this season. And to be honest, I fully expect a midfield three, Cifuentes, Jack and Lundstram again, and although a lot of fans are probably look at that every time that starting 11 gets released and kind of has a sigh because, well, we're playing two holding midfielders, which has never went well previously for us. And obviously with Cifuentes having a slightly more quiet game over the past number of games, it's safe to say we're struggling a wee bit in the midfield department. However, what I would say is, for me, the back four names itself. I think Yilmaz should be coming in there. The impact he's had after the Livingston game, I think that more than deserves him a league start, along with Ben Davies, Connor Goldson, who again have never lost a game when they're paired together, and obviously Tavernier's there as well. Butland's obviously going to be in goals. We've got that midfield three that I just spoke about, and the problem every single time with every single game we play is who do we put in that front three. Now obviously with Matondo injured, Roof is looking a bit at this point, and we've also got Cantwell's out, we've got Lawrence out. We're pretty much left with only a few options, which I think for this game is going to be a front three of Sima, Dessers, and either Lammers or Scott Wright. Now obviously there's been a couple of shouts, and I think the overall general feeling towards this idea from the fans has been welcomed, but pushing Tavernier possibly further up the pitch into that kind of right midfield, right wing kind of role, and having Dejan Sterling playing in his position. And while I would absolutely love to experiment that idea, I feel like that's something that should have been done in pre-season. I don't really know if he's going to risk that positional switch in a game that's so important to him when the pressure's so high right now. And what I would like to know for you lot is, now that all the kind of animosity's died down, the waves kind of settled, I want to know if you genuinely believe that there is a way that Michael Beale could change your opinion and the opinions of the rest of the fan base, and also what would they have to do to get to that point. As I said before, for me, I would like to see us get nearly or as close to maximum points as possible, and I want to see more of that identity and a style of play slowly creep in game by game. And although I feel like he's a bit late to the party with the style of play and performance aspect of it, you know, there is always a chance that he could stay on, he could be successful, and he could change opinions. That doesn't necessarily mean we have to forgive him for the results previously, and to be honest, we couldn't really be starting that trend against a better opposition than Aberdeen, because as I said, they always like to play it as a cup final, they like to come at us, you know, they are a good team. So to make a statement, having a comfortable performance in the style of play that we want to see, where it's high intensity, high energy, and beating them comfortably, I think would do massive wonders for Beale, the management team, the players' confidence, the fans' confidence. But the one thing is, we absolutely just have to go for it. We need to see not only Beale saying, oh, the handbrake's off, but we need to see on the pitch that handbrake's off. We need to see intensity, we need to see desire, winning first balls, we need to see full concentration, starting to clear up these sloppy mistakes and these sloppy passes which still creep in. They still did creep in the Livingston game, even though it was much more comfortable, but you know, we're not going to be that comfortable in every single game of the season, especially not in Europe, so we have to make sure we tighten all those things up. So what I want you to do as well is let me know in the comments, give me your score predictions, give me your starting lineups, who you'd like to see play, who you wouldn't like to see play. Would you like to see Tavernier moved forward and Stelling drop back? Do you think, in your opinion, there's a chance that Beale could turn the fans' opinions around? Is your opinion already starting to turn after the Livy performance? Mine's isn't, but yours might be. And remember to like and subscribe. All the links to our socials are in the description below, so if you want to head over there, we'd really appreciate that, and we'll see you next time.